He had merely spoken out of turn to his superior, and as punishment, he was thrown onto the front lines. He didn't even know where the weapon's safety was.
Where is the safety?
Exactly.
Watching his fellow soldiers operate their exoskeleton armor with practiced ease only made him sweat profusely with anxiety. What they were facing this time weren't ordinary soldiers, but alien creatures known as mimics. These beings possessed razor-sharp tentacles and devastating offensive capabilities. Humans stood no chance against them. Only by wearing specially designed exoskeleton armor could one even qualify to fight these extraterrestrial mimics. Cage, a media officer who had never set foot on a battlefield, had been sent to this frontline counteroffensive as cannon fodder simply for challenging a military superior. Countless armored soldiers boarded transport aircraft heading for the battlefield. Inside the cabin, all soldiers remained on high alert, including Cage, whose obvious nervousness drew mockery from his teammates.
There's a dead guy in there.
But just as his teammates were ridiculing him, a shell suddenly struck the transport. The cabin ruptured, and several teammates died before even reaching the battlefield. The surviving soldiers were forced to deploy prematurely, but their cables remained attached to the transport, causing them to spin violently in midair. Only when the transport was completely destroyed did their cables snap, sending them plummeting rapidly toward the ground. Fortunately, the exoskeleton armor's protection saved Cage's life. However, chaos reigned all around him. Missiles crisscrossed the sky, and countless transports were shot down. One teammate was celebrating his safe landing when, the next second, he was crushed by a falling aircraft. Cage had never witnessed such a scene. At a complete loss, he could only follow the main force into the charge. The battlefield was littered with the gruesome remains of armored soldiers. Before he could recover from the shock, an aircraft came hurtling toward him. Fortunately, he jumped into a nearby trench just in time, narrowly escaping death. Then the mimics began attacking the soldiers. They seemed to possess precognitive abilities, giving humans no chance to fight back. Even the legendary warrior who had slain countless mimics was instantly killed by a rocket. Clearly, they had underestimated the mimics' capabilities. The entire beach battlefield had become hell on Earth. Panicked, Cage ran aimlessly through the artillery fire. With zero combat experience, his only thought was to flee the battlefield. An instructor approaching him was about to reprimand him for desertion when suddenly a mimic burst from the ground, swinging its sharp tentacles and instantly killing every squad member except Cage. Miraculously, in his panic, Cage's random fumbling accidentally disengaged the weapon's safety. He aimed at the mimic ahead and opened fire. By sheer luck, he killed one of the creatures, which delighted him. But before he could catch his breath, a more advanced mimic emerged from the ground. Cage raised his weapon to strike first, but the system indicated his ammunition was depleted. Fortunately, he noticed some C4 explosives nearby. Just as the mimic charged at him, he grabbed the explosive and pulled the pin. The mimic was instantly blown to pieces, its blood spraying across Cage's face and immediately beginning to corrode him.